Hi everyone, Chaz916 here. Today we are checking out UA number 8. This is Unearthed Arcana 8. This one is called Bastions and Cantrips. Unlike the previous ones, this is not all playtest for the player's handbook. The cantrips here are for the player's handbook, but Bastions is actually playtest stuff for the new DMG. So we're getting a mix here, just so you know. Um, Basically, I want to be honest with you guys. My first reaction to this video was a groan, followed by the thoughts, not again. And you might be asking why. And that's because Stronghold or Bastions really aren't new. They first appeared back in the first edition. If you go back there and you can check pages 28, 93, 106, and 114. That covers hirelings, territory development by player characters, construction and siege, and magical research. This basically all covers the basics for a bastion system. So this is, now don't get me wrong, what they're presenting here is a whole new system. Well, kind of new and kind of not new. It's got elements of the old, but it is a complete system unlike in the previous versions. Even 5e, which has more than first edition, but is missing some things, not missing others. Anyway, the systems has varied, I guess, over the various editions. 5e is okay. It's a little better in some ways. I don't want to get into 5e. Let's focus on Bastions in this system. Okay, so in previous ones, I want you to know the problems I had in the previous ones, and we can see how this one kind of compares. In previous ones, they were rules heavy. Basically, the systems were too costly. I mean, they were basically organized and created as a gold sink. They were not organized. They were time consuming. They required a lot of work from the players and the GMs to make them work. And frankly, most players just weren't interested in strongholds and in trying to go through all of this to get it to work. Also, they didn't really support them in official mods, which was bad because it would have been cool. On the rare occasions when I had players who wanted to create a stronghold, I basically turned to third-party rule sets and homebrewing of my own to make it work, because it just wasn't there. Okay, so let's get back to Todd and Jeremy and their introduction of this new subsystem that they're calling Bastions. Okay, now after watching the video, I kind of decided to put my skepticism to the side for a while and take a dive in and see what the WOTC team did with the Bastion system. Okay, so if you guys are with me, let's take a look. Okay, the first part just covers what I've already told you, and that is that Bastions are for the Dungeon Master's Guide and Cantrips are for the Player's Handbook. Okay, so a Bastion, let's see, a Bastion is a location that belongs to player characters, a home, a stronghold, a place of power. They kind of go into this a little bit more because the Bastion is pretty versatile. Okay, let's see now. Anything else right here that we want to cover? Nope, not seeing anything. Okay, when do you gain your Bastion? You gain it at 5th level, although the GM and the players they will probably be starting to develop it before that. But it actually makes an appearance in the game starting at 5th level. Bastions will get turns. Right around once every 7 days or so in game, they will get a turn. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so How do bastions work? By default, bastion turns occur every 7 days, giving characters regular opportunities to issue orders to their bastions and reap the benefits of doing so. Here are some of the typical situations. The players are on a long journey away from the bastion. After the players have been away for 7 days, you might say, time for a bastion turn. Since you're not there, let's resolve the maintenance order for your bastion and then roll for a bastion event. So if you were away, there's only one order, and that's the maintain order. There are other orders in the game, and we're going to get into those, but you have to actually be there to issue them. Okay, characters spend 7 days or more in their bastion. Between adventures, you might say, you have 6 weeks to spend in your bastion. Go ahead and resolve 6 bastion turns. The characters can return to their bastion in the midst of an adventure, and you might say, you've had enough time to issue a new order. If you'd like, take a bastion turn before you leave again, or in the morning. The characters are adventuring near the bastion and are spending every night in their bastions. You might say, it's been a week since your last bastion turn, so you can take a new one now. Okay, so basically they're just going through different scenarios and how the GM would say, it's time to do a bastion turn. I think most of that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, then we get into bastion points. So I'm assuming that these are things that you accumulate, since they're talking about 70 and 20 and 250. Okay, bastion points are an abstraction reflecting the benefits characters accumulate when their bastions are operating. Exactly how they amass these points leads to a character acquiring things like magic items. Okay. With sufficient time and goodwill, they can build up their community. They can perhaps obtain hirelings, magic items, etc. Okay, accumulating bastion points. When characters issue orders to a facility in their bastions, these facilities generate bastion points. Each special facility, okay, so I guess we're going to get into the types of facilities a little later, but basic ones don't generate bastion points. Only special facilities generate bastion points. Okay. You can also use money to influence the rate at which you generate bastion points. So if you spend 25 gold when you issue a bastion order to a special facility, you can gain 2 dice of bastion points instead of 1, and it's a d4 bastion points. Okay, so you would get 2 dice. Okay, so bastion facilities. There are uses for bastion points. You can use them to get magic items. And they got a little chart here. Depending on how rare the magic item is, that's how it gives you a table of how many bastion points. And also the requirements. There are certain level requirements. Okay, so other uses of bastion points. You can spend 10 to ensure that the word of your heroic deeds is spread throughout the region around your bastion. Okay, so, and then you get advantage on charisma checks, as long as you're within 50 miles of your bastion. When a character dies, you can spend 100 bastion points to get them brought back to the keep and brought back to life. That's kind of cool. Okay, bastion facilities, let's see. Okay, so basically I guess they're going to start by talking about the amount of space. In facilities, you have 3 types. You have cramped, which is 4 squares, roomy, which is 16, and vast, which is 36. Okay, it indicates that you can have them laid out any way you want. You can have them on top of each other. You can have them stacked or You can even have them separated, you know, you can lay them out however you want. And they encourage you to make a floor plan for it. Well, you kind of have to, you know. Okay. It doesn't say anything about above ground or below ground, but I'm assuming that since you can lay them out any way you want, that you can put some above ground, some below ground. It doesn't say anything about being able to split them up. I mean, what if you wanted to take the roomy one and split it into two? Yeah, doesn't kind of go into any kind of thing like that. So that might be something they want to look at later on. Okay, oh, and speaking of later on, you guys should hang around because later on in the video, I am going to be going over a few things that have been missed. That the WOTC might want to put in there. Just like that piece that I just told you about, you know. Maybe changing it so that you can divide up the the facility spaces. I don't know, it's just an idea. Okay, so closets, doors and windows, corridors, ramps and staircases, defensive walls. Okay, closets, doors and windows, and corridors, ramps and staircases, you get those for free. And then defensive walls, you're paying 250 gold pieces per 5-foot square chunk. Okay, so that's going to get to be expensive. See, here again, we're running into the same thing. They're designing the system to be a gold piece dump. That's one of the things I really didn't care all that much for. But I can see, you know, if you've got characters getting a lot of gold from dragon hordes and stuff, it might be nice to have that. So I'm not going to completely, you know, rule it out. We'll see. I'd like to see how that plays. Combining bastions. So 2 or more players. So each player has his own bastion. That's interesting. And you can combine them. So different players can combine their bastions into something much larger. That's kind of interesting too. But they don't have to. Huh. That's pretty versatile. I like that. Okay, basic facilities. Bedrooms, courtyards, dining rooms, kitchens, parlors, storage rooms, and washrooms. And from what I'm reading here, you get doesn't say. Just that it's repeating what it said before. You don't these don't generate bastion points. Okay. Oh, okay, you get 1 cramped and 1 roomy, and you get 2. Okay, so you get to get 2 free basic facilities. So you have to pick 2 from the list, which is bedroom, courtyard, dining room, kitchen, parlor, storage, and washroom. You know, they're not generating bastion points. I think it would have been better to have 3 at least, so you could have a bedroom, a kitchen, and maybe a storage room. You know, or a dining room and a bedroom and a kitchen, you know. Okay, so that's 2 criticisms. One, I'd like to see something for splitting up the facility spaces. And the second one is that I think it would be nice to have 1 more facility. At least then you could have kind of a semblance, you know. Anyway, moving on. Okay, adding basic facilities. Okay, so you can add to it, but it costs you money. That's where they're doing it. Okay, so you're not stuck with just 2. You can add more, but they're going to make you use some of your hard-earned gold pieces to get them. Okay? So, and of course it takes time. So there you got that. Alright. Now, let's see what we have. Oh, and you can enlarge them. It's actually a little bit cheaper to enlarge one, so you can go from a cramp to a roomy for 500 gold pieces. So that's not such a bad thing. I mean, that's pretty good. Excuse that, that's just my controller bouncing in and out. Okay, so now we're going to get into special facilities. Special facilities are locations in a bastion where the activities performed there can yield in-game benefits. That's an interesting idea. So in addition to getting bastion points, they can yield other things too, maybe? Okay, a character's bastion initially okay, you get 2 to start with. So remember that, that's important. You gain another one at 9th level. So you get 2 at 5th level. You gain 2 at 9th level. You gain 1 additional one at 13th and another one at 17th. So you can get 7, that's 7 per player. So if 2 characters combined, that's going to be 14 special facilities. If 3 players do it, you're talking 21 special facilities. Okay, I don't mean to be critical this early on, but I'm thinking that that is going to create some problems. I mean, that's going to change the whole economy of a town. Just saying, might want to think about that one. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, each time a character gains a level, that a character can replace one of their bastion special facilities with another special facility. Okay. So if the player characters do combine them, you can change them up a little bit. That could be a good thing. I like that it adds versatility. Okay, and then it's got a little chart that tells you basically what I told you a few minutes ago. And then requirements. Okay, so the facilities do have requirements. Apparently, like the arcane ones kind of require something arcane. Fighter ones are going to require something fighterish. That kind of thing. Okay, then it goes into space. Hirelings, obviously you're going to need people to, especially in the special facilities, because apparently this stuff is supposed to be going on in the background while you're away from it, as well as when you're there. So I like that too. Orders. So there's different orders. Okay, so on a bastion turn, a character in the bastion, you have to be there to issue special orders called bastion orders to one or more of your special facilities. Okay, that's interesting. I like that. Okay. Oh, and judging from the chart, you have different orders for the different facilities. Huh. So, orders are craft, empower, harvest, maintain, recruit, research, and trade. Ooh, I like this. So you'll be able to get them to do the research while you're away. Also, they can do things like trade. There's going to be stuff they can harvest. Maintain, of course, means maintain the bastion. And also you can get hirelings. Okay. I'm liking the system. I mean, I'm not liking a few things about it, but it's looking pretty good. Different facilities have different orders. So the arcane study has craft, armory has trade, barracks has recruit, the garden has harvest. That makes sense. Library, research, sanctuary, craft. Oh, I can see why you'd want a lot of these. Because you're going to want one of each of these as soon as you can get them. But again, if you have 3 or 4 players and there's only so many different types of special facilities. Yeah, I'm still seeing that as an issue. Just my ideas. Okay, so, I don't know if we want to review all of the orders. Let's see, let's try Harvest. Harvest. A resource is produced by the special facilities, and hirelings gather it. You can also do the gathering yourself, but if you do so, the work is going to be suspended when you're away from it. Well, that makes sense. During the time required for harvesting a resource. Okay, I can get that. I like to recruit because that way you can get more hirelings, and I love the research idea. Oh, and the hirelings can buy and sell goods for you when you're not there. I kind of like that. It's kind of in 5e where they have the business things that players can get involved in. So I like that. And then we're going to go into the descriptions. So, oh, cool. Okay, Arcane Study. Let's do a few of these. I'm not going to try to do them all. I do recommend that if you are interested in Bastions, if you want to have your own stronghold, or if you are interested in cantrip, you need to check these out. Yeah, sorry, I've already looked at them. You're going to want to see them. And, all of this stuff in general, you are definitely going to want to take a good look at this. So go back, check out the video, download the material. Can't recommend it more highly. Even though it does still have some issues, it has something going for it that the others haven't got, and that is that it is a complete system. The others gave you bits and pieces, and it was up to the GM and the players to figure it out, and it drove me crazy. This one is actually giving us a complete system. So, okay, enough of me glory and complaining. Let's take another look at it here. Okay, this one, Arcane City gives you the ability to make and use a arcane focus, to craft books, to craft the focus, and to cast identify. Oh, you get cast identify. Let's see, once per 7, and you have to cast it within 7 days. Well, that's pretty cool. It makes sense that they would limit it since you're doing these once a week. You don't want them to have somebody to be able to, accumulate these. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Basically, an arcane city is a place of quiet research that contains one or more books, one or more desks and bookshelves. When you issue the craft order to the facility, you choose one of the following options. So you can do one of those. That's pretty cool. Archive. Okay, let's take a look at this one. An archive is a repository of valuable books, scrolls, and maps. Ooh, I want one. It's usually attached to a library behind a locked or secret door. Ooh, I'm liking that. Your archive contains one copy of a rare and valuable reference book. Ooh, chosen from the options in the reference book table below. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to have some... The order for this is research, and when you issue it, it takes 7 days, and they apparently go in and they do research in your library, and then they let you know what happened the next time that they speak to you. That's pretty cool. Oh, so we got some interesting reference books here. Oh, so they got one that covers Arcana, one that covers history, one that covers investigation, one for nature, one for religion. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, and you have the option of enlarging your archive as well for 2,000 gold pieces. You can enlarge it to a vast faculty. Yeah. Okay, DMs out there, I want you to know right now, I want to play this. So, and for those in my games, I'm thinking we're going to be using this. Now, I can't see how this whole system is going to be, that we're going to have time to really playtest this system in time for them to get the books out. However, I do think it is a good system, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the product is going to turn out. And I'm looking forward to giving them my feedback so far. Okay, now we have, well, this is a basic one, but, well, it should be a basic one, but it isn't. Okay, barracks. A bastion can have one or more barracks, each of which is going to serve as sleeping quarters for up to 12 bastion defenders. Does it come with the bastion defenders? Each time you issue the recruit order, okay, so you have to issue orders to get the defenders. Okay, and each order will get you up to 4. So I'm assuming you're going to have to make a roll for that? Yeah, you do. You have to make a roll for it. Oh, up to 4? Okay, so is that costing you bastion points? Because it says 1d4 BP. Is that 1d4 bastion points? I'm not sure on that, folks. Hopefully they'll make that a little bit clearer. Okay, and you can enlarge it. Oh, you can get a demi-plane. That's pretty cool. The demi-plane allows you to do fabrication, and you can make it scribe-proof. That can come in very handy. And that's at 17th level, so obviously you're not going to be doing that at low levels. Okay, a gaming hall. So you can play games in your bastion. Oh, and you can make money. Their example is a gambling den, but I'm sure you could do things like a card room or something like that as well. That's pretty interesting. And then, obviously, garden. Oh, wow. They even have some of the stuff you can garden. They really did do a good job of laying this out. Okay, so you can do decorative plants, you can do food crops, herbs, and poisons. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So, and then it goes into them. I mean, what you can get from them. Oh, and you can use the products or you can sell them. The decorative one does floral bouquets, whatever, and perfumes, and you can sell them or use them for 5 gold pieces each. And you get 10. That's kind of cool. Food, you get $50 worth of food. Herbs, you can get a healing potion. I would like to see that expanded. I mean, I want other kinds of herbs in there. Herbs, you can use them ingredients. It would be nice if you could do like herbs and things that you're using for spells. I mean, I would like other things in there. So I think that's a good start, but there's some more feedback for you. I really think you want to open that up to more types of plants, more types of herbs, or add another category. Okay, the garden produces plants that are used to create either 2 vials of an antitoxin or 1 vial of a basic poison. Okay, that seems to be pretty good for the poison one. And you can enlarge it, which I like, which basically makes it the equivalent of 2 roomies. Nice. Okay. Oh, and a greenhouse. Okay, so maybe this is where we get the ingredients. Okay, so it has the harvest. It's a spacious enclosure where that does rare plants and fungi. Now again, this one isn't talking about ingredients or anything, so not sure. Also, apparently it has 3 magical plants growing in it, or fruits. You gain the benefit of a restoration spell. Ooh, and this is at 9th level. Well, that seems about right. Oh, you have to eat it within 24 hours. Okay. Okay. And picked fruit is replaced daily at dawn. Oh, so that's pretty fast growing. You can harvest healing herbs. Oh, so it does have a variety in it. Okay, so you can do the healing herbs, and that gives you a potion of healing, greater healing. That's nice. And you can have the hirelings do it, or you can do it yourself. And also, you can do poisons in it. So that one kind of has the benefits of the garden as well. Because you can do 2 in that one. That's interesting. Okay, you can do a guild hall. Ooh, I like that idea. Oh, you get wall banners and a guild symbol and 50 members. Oh, man. They really are doing it up. Oh, and they even have some sample ones. So you can do an adventurer's guild, a baker's guild, a brewer's guild, cartographers, entertainers. Wow. Shipbuilders guild and a thieves guild. Ooh, I know some players who are going to love that. They've been bugging me about creating their own thieves guild. Yep, I'm seeing some uses for that. I'm not going to read all of these. There is so much information in this. Wow. So they can make jewelry. The entertainer one can do their own ballads and wow. They create works of art, painting, and a play. They can write a ballad, do a symphony, I guess, make statues. Really nice. Cartographers, of course, are going to draw maps. It takes them 7 days. Of course, you have to buy the materials. So a lot of these things have a material cost. I mean, yes, you do get to be able to do it, but there are costs for most of these things. So keep that in mind when you're like me and getting those stars in your eyes, okay? Okay, so then they're going into the various types of... Now we're still continuing with the greenhouse. How many pages? Oh, there's 23 pages in this. I'm not sure how many are Bastion, because I didn't look, but I guess we'll find out when we get there. Okay, laboratory. This is a level 9. You have the order for this one is craft, and you can craft a liquid concoction. Oh, so you can craft poisons? No. You can craft alchemist fire, acid, and ink. Then you can craft poison. Oh, so that's pretty cool. And you can craft potions. Nice. And of course it's costing you a lot, but that's nice. Yeah, I think I really like this. The thing I'm not real fond of is the gold piece cost. The gold pieces are extremely high, but then again, most D&D worlds aren't high magic. I run EOS and mine is high magic. So magic is a lot more common. It's not so... Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but I can see how this is going to come in really handy, especially when I'm running a regular D&D campaign. You know, it will definitely come in handy. A meditation chamber? That seems kind of out of place, doesn't it? I mean, this isn't really a new age game. But then again, I guess there are some of the new character classes that might fit in with this, so I get it. Fortify self. You can meditate in this facility over a period of 7 days to fortify your mind, body, and spirit. If you leave the bastion during this time, you gain no benefit. Otherwise, at the end of the 7th day, you gain advantage on 2 kinds of saving throws. I can see where this is going to be popular. Okay, menagerie. Oh wow, it's like a enclosure for various creatures. I like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, I can see player characters liking that. An observatory. Oh, okay, so it's an actual observatory. You get, a powerful telescope and you can check out stars and all that kind of stuff. Okay. There are some benefits to this. You can discover the eldritch mysteries of the stars. I hope there's some explanation of that somewhere. Okay, if the number rolled is even, nothing is gained. If it's odd, oh, you gain a supernatural charm. A charm of dark vision, charm of heroism, charm of vitality. Okay, now, I like that you're gaining something. I have no idea what any of that has to do with stars. So, It also does allow you to cast Contact Other Planes. Okay, so maybe that is the Eldritch Mystery. Huh. Okay, now I'm starting to see it. If you use your observatory to peer into the far corners of wild space and the astral place, and the heavens. Okay, I'm seeing it now. So the charm stuff, that's just extra. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Oh, a pub. Oh, nice. Okay, guys. I'm seeing my characters are gonna like this one. I think you're gonna get some good feedback from them on this. And I will report on their comments. Oh, you get a pub special. Let's find out a little bit more about this here. Because I know they are gonna want to know. Okay, it looks like you're getting a hireling. Okay, they can gather information. So it's basically like a spy network for you as well. Because you're getting information from everything that's going on around. From the chat and stuff that people are doing, I guess. That's kind of cool. So you get a pub and a spy network. Oh, man. I think I would have liked to have seen the spy network separate. Because some people would just like to do the pub. Actually, I would like to have seen like a tavern one. That would have been, like the pub part that you could like combine with another one to create your own tavern. I haven't seen anything where they talk about like hotel space or inn space. Let's see, is there one? Sanctuary. Well, I guess we'll find out before we finish. If you didn't put one in yet, that's another thing that you should put in, because it would be nice to have an inn facility, because you could generate, from people staying overnight, combine that with a pub, and you could effectively have a tavern. That would be really nice. Especially as a player character, I would love to run that. Okay. So now we're going into some religious ones. We got a reliquary and a sacristy. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what those are, but I'm sure they're interesting. Okay, so the reliquary, we're doing a talisman. Okay, it's a tiny non-magical item that has religious significance. Okay, and you can use it as a spellcasting focus. I could see that being useful. Alright, and then synchronicity. Okay, basically it's a storage room for religious objects. And you can craft things like holy water, and you can make sacred items, craft sacred items, such as a pearl of power, a parapet, a wound closure, a ring of water walking, sending stones, a staff of adder, a staff of python. I think that's more for the druids. Okay, a wand of magic detection. Not sure how that one fits in with cleric. Okay, then we have sanctuary. Okay, this is another religious one. You can, okay, imparts 2 benefits. Let's see, you can cast a healing word. If you spend time there, if you take a long rest there, you can then cast healing word, but you can only do it once and you have to do it within 7 days. Okay, and then you can craft a sacred focus. And this can be for a druid, I'm assuming for a druid or a cleric, though it's not actually specifying. And then a sanctum. So a lot of good religious stuff. This one talks about holy symbols. So you can cast heal and sanctum recall. So you can make your sanctum the destination of a spell instead of another place that you have previously designated. So for the recall spell, you can have that set up so that it'll send them right back to here, where they will cast heal and get the healed person back on their feet. Cool. Scriptorium. Contain desk and writing supplies, and you can craft a book replica. Oh, so you can copy non-magical text. You can craft paperwork, pamphlets and things like that, loose, Okay, that could be interesting. And you can craft scrolls. Nice. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm feeling it. Okay, and of course it's going to cost you. And then there's a smithy and a stable. Okay, and you get some horses with the stable. You get a riding horse and 2 ponies, or 2 mules. So you can get a riding horse or a camel, and then you can get 2 ponies or 2 mules. Your choice. That's kind of cool. And then the smithy, you can craft ammunition or simple weapons, armor, and also martial weapons. And what's the level on the smithy? And you can get the smithy at level 5. That is pretty good. And you can craft heavy armor. That's nice. You can also do things like grappling hooks. That can come in handy. Caltrops. Nice. A crowbar. Yep. Hunting traps. Very nice. Good to see a place where you can finally get those. I like it so far, and the staple is looking good. You can enlarge it. You get animal handling checks. You get bonuses to it, I guess. Let's see. On the wisdom checks. Yeah. Cool. A storehouse. Okay, and that's where the trade comes in. So you can put your trade goods in there, and so they're there for you, and also you can sell some of them. A teleportation circle. Very nice. Okay, and a theater. Oh wow, so not only can you produce your plays and stuff, now you have a theater to put them in. I like it. Very nice. Okay, a training area. That can be good. Okay, so a trophy room. Wow, this thing has a lot of them. Okay, and a war room. Okay, again, this is like for fighters. So, a trophy room, that's pretty cool. And a training area. Okay, so the training area can be used to train your hirelings and yourself, apparently, with different types of expert trainers. Yeah. And then a trophy room where you can do research that's useful for research. And also apparently for making trinkets. Okay, I'm going to kind of pick it up here just a little bit. Okay, so we have a war room and a workshop. Okay, the workshop is a creative space where all manner of useful items can be crafted. After spending an entire short rest in the workroom, you gain heroic advantage. Okay, inspiration. If you issue the craft order, you can craft one tiny non-magical item. Okay. Now I told you guys that there was a few things missing, and this is another one, or this at least brings to mind another one. Okay. In previous materials, there was one thing that hasn't been mentioned here, and now we're going to go into the fall of bastions and events. There's no more facilities. So, two that I have, one that I spotted missing, and that is a N-type facility with beds. So, rooms so that you can have guests. That kind of thing. I guess you could use the barracks, but that's not really the same thing. So that's kind of missing, and you can't, rent out the beds. That just isn't going to work. And then the workshop, this one is missing something important because you can only craft small things. Now I would like to see at higher levels that you can craft other things, because one of the things I'm seeing missing right now, and I haven't seen it anywhere, is siege weapons. Okay, you've got this nice thing. You want to have siege weapons to help you to protect it, right? Okay, but I'm not seeing anything here where it's going into siege weapons. So that's one thing that is missing here that has been included. That was all the way back in first edition. So it is definitely missing here. The other thing that has been in others that is missing here for facility is a mine. Okay, a mine would be really great because it provides some of the materials that you need, and you can actually get some of the, if you happen to get lucky enough and your mine has some gold in it, you could use that to help help pay for it. And just because it would be cool to have. Not to mention that it would be really good for the GMs. I mean, if you have a mine, there is no telling what the characters might run into as they're digging down into the earth. I mean, it just offers tons of possibilities. So, definitely WOTC, you should be listening to this stuff because there is some good stuff in here I'm giving you for free. You should take advantage of it. Okay, let's move on. Fall of the Bastion. Okay, so obviously if you have a bastion, things can happen to it, especially when you're not there. So let's see, what does it tell us? Okay, so if no orders are issued for a number of consecutive days equal to the character's level, basically the bastion will be abandoned. Okay, I can see that. Once it's been abandoned, of course, it can be looted and burned, all that stuff. Okay, but you can also reestablish it later. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and then we get into events. So let's see what kind of events we have. So random events. And remember, you roll one random event and a maintenance check if you're away. So you're going to have to roll one of these. So on a 1 to 9, nothing happens. On a 10, your facility gets attacked. On an 11 or 12, you lose a hireling. On a 13 or 14, refugees. 15, you have a visitor. 16, you get somebody making a request. 17, an honored guest. And 18, an extraordinary opportunity. And 19, a criminal hireling. That would be interesting. And a 20, a magical discovery. Oh, some good stuff here. Some bad stuff and some good stuff. Okay, attack. Let's get this one out of the way. I'm kind of happy that it's first because everybody's going to want to know what happens if they, get attacked. A hostile hostile force attacks your bastion but is defeated. Okay, I like that. You roll 66 for each one that rolls. For each die that rolls a 1, you lose 1 bastion defender. Okay, that seems to be fair. I mean, you get to survive and win, but you will lose some people. In addition, if one of the people that you lose is one of for the special facilities, and it's rolled randomly, this means that, you might have to shut it down. That facility, not everything. Okay, that seems to be, fair as well. If it shuts down, it can't be used again until the next turn. By then it will have been repaired and it will be operational again. And I'm assuming that somewhere in there you've recruited another hireling because it's not mentioning it. If it's functional again but the person who runs it is dead, you must have somehow gotten another hireling. But again, that's not mentioned. So GMs out there might want to be a stickler for this. Depends on the GM. Also, this is another thing that, the WOTC should specify. Okay. Criminal hireling. One of your bastion hirelings has a criminal past. Really? Me hire someone with a criminal past? Can't believe it. He must have hit it really well. Okay, but I can pay a bribe. I'm not a criminal, though. Why would I pay a bribe? And if I paid the bribe, wouldn't he know that I hired him deliberately? Ooh, what's my alignment again? I could see some issues here. Could be fun to play out. Okay, extraordinary opportunity. Oh, you can gain 2d4 bastion points. Oh, what is that? Okay, I'm going to want to roll a lot of 18s. Okay, friendly visitor. Okay, that they have some benefits. Honored guests. Different types of honored guests. And each seems to have a benefit. Okay, a lost hireling. One of your bastion special facility loses its hireling. This causes that department. The cause is up to you. The felicity can't be used on your next bastion turn until your next bastion turn. Oh, okay. So apparently, and although it doesn't specify it up there, it is saying down here that if you lose the hireling, the hireling does get replaced and it doesn't cost you anything. So they should specify that up here in the attack so that you know that if you've lost a person, that it's not costing you anything. Or maybe it does, it's just not specified. A magical discovery. Now this could be interesting. Okay, the magic item can't be a suit of armor, a shield, or a weapon. Okay, they accidentally create a magical item. How do you magically create a... Okay. Oh, the magic is temporary. Okay, so this might be something that just happens from ambient energies. In my world, that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Okay. But it's temporary. What does it get? It gets one use, I think. Okay, and it only lasts for 7 days, and then it turns to dust. Okay, refugees. Okay. And a request for aid. Okay, so, all in all, I did find some issues there. And again, I did make some suggestions. I do hope that they check out this video. If you guys know anybody at the WOTC, let them know to check this out. They'll find out some good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to have to make this one kind of short for 2 reasons. One, I'm running out of space. This thing's already 57 minutes long. And my throat is going. So, on the cantrips, let's take a look. They got some updates. The acid splash now creates a 5-foot radius sphere. And anything that's caught in that, okay, so that's 5-foot radius. That means 5 feet on the inside of a sphere shape. So 10 feet total. Anything in that is going to get splashed. So before, instead of just 2, you can now hit anything that's in that area, however many there are. Okay, Blade Ward is now a reaction. That's a most welcome improvement. Chill Touch is now a touch spell. And that makes sense, man. I didn't know why it wasn't touch before. I know that there are people who are going to be upset about that, but it just, it's the way it's supposed to be. Friends now forces the target to make a save versus being charmed. Okay, in case you guys don't know and haven't checked out the video yet, Friends just gives the person the charm condition, and the charm condition no longer contains the hostile element that was there before. So it's much better, and the person isn't actually they're saying that they aren't being mind controlled. I would have to rule that they are. On EOS, we have rules about things that affect other people's minds. If you are caught doing that, you can end up with fines, stuff like that. Some places it's just a taboo, in others it's against the law. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, produce flame. Now it can now be done as a bonus action, and apparently it's a flame that you can hold in your hand, and you can also toss it up to 6 feet away, 60 feet away. Cool. Shillelagh has been improved and now gets better at higher levels. Oh, thank you. I really like shillelaghs. Really want them to be better at higher levels. That's good. A shocking grasp now shuts down opportunity attacks rather than all reactions. Okay, I like that. It does limit it a little bit. Yeah, because of the way the game is played, that seems to make sense. Because the initiative system and orders and yeah, that stuff's actually all happening at one time. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. But okay, some people are going to be a little upset about that, I think. It also can provide you with a partial disengage. Okay, not entirely sure what that means. I guess we'll have to read it to find out. Okay, Spare the Dying is now a ranged rather than a touch spell. Good choice. Good choice. True Strike is now an attack with a weapon that uses your spellcasting ability rather than strength or dexterity. Okay, so True Strike is basically Shillelagh. I don't know if it gets better as it goes up in level. Okay, I'm kind of curious about that. So let's take a look at True Strike. It does. So True Strike, like Shillelagh, at 5th level does a d6, at 11th it does 2d6, and at 17 does 3d6. Cool. So I'm liking that. And let's see, what else here? Produce Flame, Shocking Grasp, Acid Splash, Chill Touch. All I can say, guys, is they made subtle but very nice changes. I don't know what people are going to think of True Strike. I happen to like it because in my world, wizards they aren't like in D&D. They don't stand in the background and lob stuff in. Wizards in my world are more like you would see in Tolkien, where you've got like the wizard up there with a staff, bashing things and knocking out undead, and as well as casting spells. That's my world. That's just the way it is. So this is something that will definitely fit in. Okay, guys, I want to thank the WOTC. I know I haven't done that in the past, and I should have. This is some excellent playtest material. And all of the stuff that they have produced up till now has been really good. Although it's had its issues, this has its issues too. It is a great start. It is the first time that they have actually put out a Bastion system that is a system and not just a bunch of pieces. I mean, look back on what I talked about on the first edition. You had page 28 for hirelings, and then all the way up in page 98, you actually get into a territory development by player characters. Then 106 before you get into the construction stuff, and 114 before you get into magical research for potions. And they have put together a nicely concise system. Is it missing stuff? Yes. There's no mines. There is no in-room or facility. There is no siege weapons. All of these things should be addressed, and hopefully they will be addressed later. Okay, guys, I want to thank all of you for joining me. That's it for this one. I have got to give my voice a break. It has been worked. This is way more than I normally do, but this one deserved it. Okay, guys, so you all take care. I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.